Being off-grid, we come up against unique challenges pretty regularly, and today was no exception. We normally have a diesel generator that is running automatically whenever our battery banks need more power, but it's not working right now. So we are running one of our backup generators. So I head out this morning to get that going, and my 2-year-old is up with me to do that. If you're new, I'm Erica. My husband Mark and I and our 2 kids live fully off-grid in Canada. We try to live a healthy and self-sufficient lifestyle, and that's what we share about in our videos. So I'd love if you'd subscribe to our channel. Normally, we wouldn't have to run a generator at all at this time of year, but we just got our meat chicks, and we're running a heat lamp 24/7 for them. And we also discovered something else that was running that shouldn't have been running, that was sucking a lot of power. And I'll tell you more about that later in the video. This has been one of the biggest challenges of being off-grid for us, is that we don't have an endless supply of electricity. In the city, we could just plug in whatever we needed to and we would pay for it, of course. But we never had to worry about, do we have enough electricity? Here, our supply is limited. If we're plugging one thing in, we probably have to unplug something else, unless it's a really sunny day that we're going to get a lot of solar power from. You can see now that the red warning light has disappeared and the generator is now giving us power. At this point, these chicks are still pretty young, so I am filling their waterers, we have 2 of them, just once a day, and so I'm taking those to fill them up now. Being a mom on a homestead and off-grid has definitely taught me patience. Like, to fill these, I'm taking them all the way back to our home, which is not very far distance, but when you're walking with a 2-year-old alongside you, it takes a lot longer. So I have learned to slow down and just be okay with going at a slower pace. I am naturally a very go, go, go kind of person. I love to just check things off my list and get things done. So being a mom off-grid on homestead has helped me to see that it's okay to go slow, and I still get the things done, and it's actually a more enjoyable way to live. That being said, I still struggle with it sometimes. It's something that I'm constantly working on, just trying to enjoy the moment when things are slower and not worry about getting the next thing done so much. Being outside in the morning is one of my favorite things. It's something I like to do to reset my circadian rhythm so that I'll sleep properly that night. Go out before I look at any screens, and that's one small change that I've made to have better health. If you're struggling with your health and energy, check out my free workshop below. I go through the exact steps that I took to get my energy back. After doing our whole morning routine, which I'll leave our video about that here, we head out, and I have planned to clean out the brooder because we've had these chicks for a week now and it's starting to stink and be full of poop, so we need to freshen that up for the little chicks. We have them staying in one half of the brooder box, and so I'm just going to move them and their food over to the other side while I clean out the wood shavings in this side. We had this extra heater in there on the side, but after a couple days, we realized we didn't really need it. So we had turned it off, but I decided to just take it out of there since it didn't need to be in there, and started moving the chicks over to the other side, which was quite a bit harder than I thought it was going to be. They're pretty quick, even when they're this small.
I got it in. You got two at a time. That's pretty impressive, Mom. Thank you.
Okay. If you missed our video about our preparations for getting these chicks, we are totally new to this. This is our first year trying this. So we are just diving in and learning as we go. And it's been a little bit rough so far. We started out with 26 chicks. We followed the instructions as well as we could from our hatchery. But now at this point, when I'm doing this voiceover, we've had them for 2 weeks and we're down to 17. So that's been a little discouraging. And I'm sure part of the reason for that is that they have gotten too cold a couple of times. The timing of our diesel generator stopping working was impeccable because now it doesn't just automatically turn on when we need more power. So there have been a few times in the night that the power has actually gone out. And even when I have run our backup generator right before I went to bed, we still didn't have enough to make it through, which honestly made no sense to me. Just because this heat lamp was the only thing that we had added to our power consumption. But anyway, it did happen, and so they were without their heat lamp a couple of times, and I'm not even sure for how long. Then there were times that during the day, even when it was sunny, I had to run the generator a couple of times. Again, it made no sense because we had solar power. So then one day I was walking by our septic tank and heard a noise and discovered that our septic pump has been running nonstop and sucking so much power. It is supposed to turn on and run for only about a minute, right when the septic tank fills up to a certain point. But no, it had been running on and on and on. So this was definitely a relief because I was so concerned about how much power we were using and how often I had to use the generator. So it was great to find out that there was actually a reason for it other than our solar batteries totally crapping out. Mark took a look at it, and luckily it was a very easy fix. It was just kind of clogged up and needed a little bit of cleaning up. My girls are really into racing right now, so we had a couple of races to get the wood shavings from the brooder to the compost.
Don't let go, Mom.
Somebody who lived here before us must have really loved yellow daylilies because they're absolutely everywhere, all over our yard and property. And I don't mind at all because I really enjoy seeing these bright, beautiful pops of yellow everywhere I go. And there's so many that we can bring a bunch in to enjoy in the house and still have lots to enjoy outside. Nice. I think that's good for a nice little bouquet. There are other flowers around as well, so whenever we want to make a bouquet, we just kind of walk around the house and the yard and see what we find and put together the colors that we'd like to. And today it was a pinkish, purplish, yellow bouquet. Very, very beautiful.
These are beautiful pink bells. Pink bells. gonna be a beautiful bouquet.
This is a beautiful bouquet. That's what I got in the other one.
Other what?
If you missed it, Mark and I had the chance to go to Victoria to celebrate our 10-year anniversary just a couple weeks ago. And while I was there, I found this vase at a gift shop. It's a window or a wall vase. So you can stick it right onto a window. You can also stick it onto a wall. And I loved this idea because I love having flowers, but I also have a 2-year-old that loves to grab things off of the table and off of counters, and I also appreciate having as much counter space as possible. So this was a wonderful solution to have my bouquet of flowers just sitting on the window right where I can see it, but totally out of the way. Laundry is something that, as an off-grid mom, I absolutely have to stay on top of, at least with how our system is set up, because I have a very small washing machine and I have limited drying space. So I don't have a dryer, so I can't just do 5 loads in a day, dry it all, put it in a big pile and fold it. I also need to time the washing machine with either when we have solar power or when the generator is running. So those are some factors that I have had to adjust to. But doing 1 load a day is the way that I stay on top of it. And something I love about doing a load of laundry every single day is that I need way less laundry. We don't need nearly as many clothes or towels or bedding because I know it's just going to get washed again and worn again. So if you are trying to pare down on your clothes or your kids' clothes, this is a great way to naturally make that way easier to manage. While the kids are having their nap/quiet time, I'm heading out to do a couple of chores outside. Just give the chickens their scraps from the kitchen, and then to fill up the backup generator because it's running so often, I need to keep it full. While being a mom off-grid has its inconveniences sometimes, I would never change it because I love the peace of mind that we are in charge of our heat and our power and all of our utilities. And things will go wrong and need to be fixed, but that is just part of it. And so we take it. Thanks so much for watching. We make a new video every week about our off-grid life, so I'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.